get settled in. Take a deep inhale into your belly. Drop your shoulders, roll them, stretch your neck. Nice, long, slow exhale as you bring yourself fully present into this present moment. Deep inhale. Bring to mind whatever it is that's most present for you this morning. As you bring that to mind, that helps me connect with the energy of this room, of this day, so that I can deliver the message that are going to be most beneficial for this group. All right. So, hi, my name is Valorie Lewis. I'm a psychic medium, also a tarot and oracle card reader, also a channeler, and now a manifestation coach, all the things. If you'd like to get to know me a little bit better or know what I do and what I offer, please visit my website, valorielewis.com. Any first timers here would love to know that. Go ahead and put that over in chat. Spirit led. Oh, I like the name of that group. Yes. AB, it's your first time. Great. All right. Great day. The crystalline light bodies. Ooh, I like that name for a group. All right. So for today's event, and let me tell you, I've been thinking it's almost 5 years. It's been 5 years, you guys, since I've been doing this, and I've been thinking I'm going to change up things a little bit, switch the format of this particular event. Will we still be doing it? Absolutely. But I think I'll switch the format a little bit. So keep an eye out for that. Next, speaking of 5 years, our 5 year anniversary as a community to row unicorns and coffee is actually on May 24th. On May 24th, I'll be in Denver reading at a metaphysical fair. So we're going to have a celebration on the 25th. And guess what the 25th is? Magical Money Manifestations. Guess what else the 25th is? World Tarot Day. How perfect is that, that we get to celebrate on World Tarot Day? So please come to the celebration. Tickets are on sale now. I think Haley just put that over there in the chat. That happens on Monday, the 25th. Yes, I will still be out of town. Let me find my words. My brain's moving a little faster than my tongue this morning. I will still be out of town next Monday, the 25th, but we are still having Magical Monday manifestations, and we are still having the party that evening. Also, if you're not able to travel to Denver to get an in-person metaphysical reading with me at reduced prices, y'all know we do shorter sessions and we do reduced prices for the fair. And I've always, for a long time, wanted to offer that same thing to those of you who follow me online and who aren't able to travel to meet me at the fairs. And so I am offering that. I finally got it all together, got it set up on my website. So on May 30th, which is the last Saturday of this month, on May 30th, I am setting myself up for an online fair. You can book a single session. It is private one-on-one. And you can book that on May 30th with me. I'll be I'll be giving readings all day long. Make sure you book early, book your slot, because they will most likely sell out. I think that's all. Let's get into today. I'll be reading from some tarot cards, reading from some oracle cards, giving one card readings as time permits. And then we'll see if we also have time. Ooh, that card jumped out. Also have time for an energy activation here at the end. So as you all are settling in, thinking about what you would like to receive guidance on, maybe just thinking about what's going on in your life. If everything's going great, think about something that you're grateful for, because that energy helps too. And I am drawing cards now. Is it that one? That one's out of my hand. Do we have another one, Spirit? Or is it just these? I feel like it's just the cards I've pulled, which I haven't pulled a full 5 cards yet, which is interesting. I usually pull 5 cards. Give me just a second here. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, the deck we're pulling from, let me get back on track here. The deck we're pulling from is Crystal Unicorn Tarot, and it looks like I have to turn that filter off or you guys are not going to be able to see me. One moment. I feel like I got all kind of technical difficulties today. I'll fix it here in just a second, you guys. Here we go. Do that and do that. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's better. Crystal Unicorn Tarot is the deck we're pulling from. We've got 4 cards. First up is 5 of Swords. Swords is air energy. Swords is communication. Swords is our thinking mind, thoughts, mental. How are we creating our reality through our thoughts? And the five in tarot, fives in numerologically, fives in numerology represent challenges and opportunities, represent turning points. They're the midway point. So that 5 is definitely presenting a bit of a challenge. But again, it's thinking, it's our thoughts. And the challenge is, how are you looking at the situation in front of you? This depiction, we would understand this unicorn to be like the victor here. There was a battle. This is the battlefield. This would be the victor because he's standing by these swords. He's claimed them. He's claimed victory. These are the ones walking off, defeated, sad, tired, whatever. But don't they all look like they could be friends? I mean, they're unicorns. So what did they start fighting about? Have they been fighting so long that they kind of forgot they were supposed to be on the same side? Have they been fighting so long that they forgot what they were fighting for? The 5 of Swords represents that. The 5 of Swords represents the idea of you may have won the battle, but you lost the war, that old cliche. Like you forgot what you started out doing. You forgot that initial thought. Maybe you lost track of the main goal along the way, or even the main point of your argument. Have you been arguing a point for so long that the relationship that you were arguing for is no longer something you even want in your life? Like what's going on that you've lost track of where you started versus where you are right now? And it's time to pause and ask yourself those questions. What am I really doing here? Do I really still want to fight this battle, have this argument, go after this thing, go through this challenge? 5s are challenges and opportunities. So maybe it doesn't feel like a fight for you. Maybe it just feels like a challenge, a challenging conversation that you keep having over and over again because Swords is communication. A challenging thought that you just can't seem to let go of. Where is that challenge showing up for you? All right, so let me go to the book to see which crystal. Is there a crystal for this one? Let's see. If you pull this card in your reading, then it's telling you to step back, chill, and examine the situation before you jump into it with anger. I don't really see a crystal on this one. Amethyst crystal for the entire suit. So that's what we'll go with. With this deck, there's usually a unicorn and a crystal. And the crystal kind of gives some additional meaning to the card. All right, so that's the 5 of Swords. That's starting off our week, which means we're starting off our week in introspection. We're asking ourselves some questions about the things that are going on, about what we have said is important. Is it still important? Do you still want to keep putting up with this? 5 of Swords. And then we have 2 major arcana, which means we're asking ourselves that question, and then we move into big overarching themes that will affect our own life, our whole life in one way or another. The major arcana are big archetypes in our life, big issues in our life, and definitely big things that don't just have to do with our everyday. Did you choose the bologna sandwich over the peanut butter and jelly sandwich? It's bigger than that. It's, are you eating healthy when it comes to your diet? So with these bigger major arcana card, the first one we have is the Star. I love the Star. The Star is always so peaceful energy for me. It's the card of hope. It's the card of rejuvenation. So you've asked yourself the hard questions. Maybe you've come up with some hard answers, some things you need to let go of, some things you need to move on from. This energy is going to come in and help you. The star is also the card of healing. This idea is coming up for me, so I feel like it is a spirit-led message. Are you afraid to move on and let go of something simply because you know how painful it will be to do so? Not because you don't understand that it's the right thing to do, not because you don't have the strength to do it, but because you're afraid of how much pain it may cause for you to move on, or the story you're telling yourself about the pain you might cause to someone else, because that's why this card is coming next. This energy is here to help you heal. This energy is here to say sometimes we have to go through painful things, not because spirit, the universe wants us to be in pain, but because that's the path we laid for ourselves. And so that is the path we are walking for ourselves. And sometimes we self-create these situations that, yeah, call us pain when we need to extricate ourselves from them, when we need to move on. Does it have to be painful? I'm hearing right now it's not as painful as your mind is telling you it's going to be. So if this is you, if this message is resonating with you, take comfort in that. Take comfort that we started with swords. Swords is telling me your mind is making up some stories that might be a little bit more dramatic than what's actually going on. But regardless of that, you have this star card coming in. Hope, joy, take a rest, gather your thoughts, but then keep moving forward. Brighter days ahead, rejuvenation. Let's see what this particular author says about the star. Turquoise is the stone that goes with it, or the crystal. You are entering a loving, inspired phase in your life. All is crystal clear and calm, like the soothing energy of the turquoise crystal. Trust yourself and what you can manifest. Listen to your intuition. The key words are clarity, inspiration, and hope. The reversed energy. So ask yourself if you've been feeling any of these recently too. Despair, discouragement, or just feeling uninspired. That's the flip side of this energy. So again, if you've been feeling those things in any way, small or big, this energy is coming in to help you flip it around, to help give you renewed hope, to help rejuvenate you, to help inspire you, to help move you forward. So that is the star. And right after the star, we have Judgment, another major arcana card. Judgment is the idea. Oh my God, there's so much symbology in this card, but I'm not getting that it's specifically about judgment in this sense. I'm getting the idea that spirit is drawing my eyes to these individuals. And these, I think that's fluorite. These individuals represent the reckoning day. This is an old semi-Christian imagery on the tarot card, which represents Judgment Day. So these individuals are supposed to be awakening and coming out of caskets. So after they've died, they're coming for their final judgment to see how they live their life. So I am being drawn to these individuals, these unicorns coming up out of the casket. But this is in a joyful way. This isn't in a life knocked you over way. This is in a you've gone through the energy of the star, the rejuvenation, the reassessment, and you are born again. And this time you have a chance to move forward without so much self-judgment, without giving so much attention to the judgment of others. You just came through something. You're either in the process of shedding something or are about to shed something and heal from it. But whatever that thing is that you are shedding, that you are letting go of, that is no longer serving you, it's going to make you feel like a breath of fresh air. It's going to make you feel like something in you is reborn, something in you now has space to grow. This idea of being reborn. And the important thing is, unless you go back and pick up all of that crap that you just unloaded, you are going to be able to move forward in this energy of feeling reborn with less judgment, less self-judgment, and not paying attention so much to the judgment of others. Spirit is using my words very carefully because my brain wants to keep saying less self-judgment and less judgment from others. And Spirit keeps correcting that last part. It's not less judgment from others. It's you paying less attention to the judgment from others. So Spirit is not promising you that he's going to muzzle all of your haters. Spirit is saying, how long are you going to walk through this life where you still care what they say? Can you allow yourself to come into a space to where the people who disagree with you don't hold so much weight over your life? Those people who are judgmental of you, of your life, of your choices, don't have such a say in your life anymore. So that is judgment. And then we end this reading, because I only pulled 4 this time. We started on the 5 of Swords, and we end on the 3 of Swords. Again, swords are our thinking mind. And our thinking mind is very closely associated in most cases with our heart, with our emotions. So what thoughts are we thinking that are causing us emotional distress? Because I could have pulled the 3 of Cups if Spirit wanted to give us a message completely about emotions. Cups is emotions. But Spirit had me pull the 3 of Swords. What thoughts are you thinking that is causing you emotional distress? Do you need to feel them? I'm not saying you don't need to feel them. I'm not saying toss them out the window and get rid of them. That's emotional suppression. You're going to need therapy later for that. I'm not saying you don't need to feel them. I'm saying, can you identify what thoughts you are thinking that are causing you emotional distress? And then we talked about that introspection. And you ask yourself, is this something I need to process? Is this something I need help with? Is this something I'm ready to let go? It's the story that I keep telling that makes me really, really angry every time I tell it. Have I been telling that story for 20 years? Anytime someone in my family or my life asks me about XYZ, I tell that same story. Pretty sure that's one you can let go of. But if it's something that just happened over the weekend and you're still processing it and you're telling the story so that you can process it, I'm not saying you need to let go of it. I'm saying you need to be aware of it. And I'm not saying it. Actually, Spirit is saying it. You need to be aware of it. You need to check the timeline on it. You need to ask yourself, am I truly processing this? Or am I just keeping a negative emotion alive because maybe I feel like justice wasn't served, or maybe I feel like there's something else that can be done in this situation. And so I just keep regurgitating it. If there's something else that can be done, then do it. Get out of the swords, get out of the thinking about it, get out of the retelling the story. Communication, swords is communication too. Get out of the retelling the story if all the story is doing is pulling you back to an emotional state that you would rather not be in. If the story is not moving the needle, if it's not solving the problem, if it's not helping you process, then this is your time to reevaluate. What am I actually doing here? What thoughts, swords, am I allowing to cause me emotional distress? Is it necessary, or am I ready to move on, move through it? All right. That's what we have for Tarot. Give me just a second here. Is everything okay over there in the chat? One moment. Just making sure. Okay. Okay, now we're going to move on to Oracle cards. This is one I like. So I bought this Zodiac deck so I could learn more about astrology back when I was really into just learning. So this is a deck I bought more like a teaching deck. I have not pulled from this deck probably in years. Probably haven't opened it in years just because It's a pretty basic one, and I now know astrology enough to not use it as a teaching deck. But I got a strong hit that I needed to pull from this one today. Maybe even a couple of cards. So what do we need to know about the energies of the zodiac? Now, here's what I'll say. Um, about these zodiac cards. It's not that you need to believe in the zodiac. I don't know why you wouldn't. Also, it's not saying that we have to be in this particular sign or going through a particular transit. When I pull from this deck during these groups, it just means this energy is an energy that can benefit you or an energy that might help give you clarity for whatever's going on in your life right now. So that's what I mean when I pull from this deck. Okay, so the one we have is, card we have is Taurus. Give me just a second here. Let me get the card. Hang on just a second. Okay, Taurus, the bull, the bull. That's quite an interesting photo. I really haven't pulled from this deck. That one, that I don't really, slow down. I don't usually associate Taurus with like the idea that looks like anger and fire to me. Taurus is an earth sign, and I usually associate Taurus energy with calm, soothing, connected, grounded energy. So I'm very interested in why this particular card is presented that way. Give me just a moment. Where is Taurus? Oh, Taurus. The stable energy of Earth combines with fixed, determined quality and advises practical planning. Gather the facts, understand the data, figure out the next best step. The key phrase, I have, means that the motivation is centered on resources and to best deploy and how to best deploy them. In this situation, ask, what do I have and how can I best invest it? Make a plan and commit yourself to seeing it through. Taurus, resources that you have that you may have not taken slowed down enough to notice that they're there, or slowed down enough to understand where to put those resources and how to best use those resources. Fixed. Taurus is a fixed sign. I don't know if you've ever heard Taurus is referred to as stubborn, but a fixed sign means that it means they're fixed. I want to go back to this part. Fixed determination, fixed determined quality is how it describes it in this part. Fixed determined quality. And what I want to say is allow determination to move you forward, not to block you. We can get really determined when we're pointed in the wrong direction. We can go a long ways down the wrong path, the wrong turn, because we're just so determined to be right, so determined to prove ourselves, so determined to you fill in the blank. So make sure your determination is pointed in the right direction, and then by all means use that to move yourself forward. I feel like we need one more card from this deck. What other energy? This card, Spirit? Is it this deck? Yep. We'll look over it together. Sun, the motherfucking sun. Look at that depiction of sun energy. Okay, let's see what this card is, what this energy is. Oh, okay. Just checking, just checking. Yeah, I'm trying to multitask, so give me just a minute. Okay. I'm just making sure everyone in the room is safe and it's okay. I saw something going on over in the chat. I hope everything is okay. I just wanted to take a moment to check on that. So that's why I was a bit distracted. All right, let's move on to the sun energy. Let me hold that card up one more time. The sun is strongly associated with your birthday, the day you came into being, and represents the need to express your sense of self. Are you being the sun in your own life, or are you letting someone block your light? Other issues involve variations of this, such as self-image, self-esteem, individuality, identity, and personal creativity. Ideas about paternal figures and authority might also be indicated when the sun card appears. I feel this is more about you shining your light. How are you shining your light? Are you shining your light? If not, why? And in what ways can you find, these are messages coming from spirit. So this is a question from spirit, your spirit guides your team directly to you. In what ways can you find to shine your light even brighter? And the spirit, I hear spirit right now saying, we are not saying that you're not doing a good job. We're not saying that your work is underappreciated. We see it. This is a strict, straight up channeled message. I hope everybody receives this in relation to the sun. Okay. We see the work that you are doing. Many of you even call yourself light workers. We are not saying that we don't see it. We absolutely see it. We acknowledge it. And at the same time, we would like to say, we thought there would be more of you at this point in time in Earth history. Again, that is not a chastisement. That is we miscalculated. And so those of you that are present, that are shining your light, we are asking you to step up, to be even bolder, to be even brighter, to be even louder, to do what others might still be fearful to do. And so, in what other ways can you continue to shine your light even brighter? Is what we are asking of all of you, because we see you already shining so brightly. And we would like that to continue. And the more you all can shine brightly, the more maybe you can show those who are scared that it is okay. Very interesting message. I hope you all took that to heart. All right, I'm going to move on. I'm definitely taking it to heart. I'm going to move on to the 22 Archangels. Kyle Gray deck. There's another fucking sun. I did not plan this. I turned it over. I love how spirit provides synchronicities. Uriel, learning experience, take time to review, study, and hone your knowledge before proceeding further. Look at that beautiful, beautiful archangel. Let's see what the additional message is for this one. Come on, there we go. All right. Uriel, God's light, is the angel of light, brilliant like the sun, shedding light on anyone or anything that needs to be seen for understanding and spiritual growth. He comes to us when it's time for awareness and answers. Wow. He will shine his torch of light upon our life. Yeah, I need my glasses and I cannot find them. He will shine, one moment. He will shine his torch of light upon our life and help us weigh out our options and obtain the facts in order to make the best decision. Uriel is also the angel who comes to help us in education and higher learning so that we can be the best versions of ourselves. Your message, here's the message from this particular angel. It's time to take an inventory of your life. Recognizing where you are and how far you've come is essential for the next stage of your evolution. Some situations and challenges have not worked out favorably, but this has led you to your gifts. So did it work out? I think so. We tell ourselves, ooh, that thing that I'm struggling over, that I still feel shame, regret over, ooh, that thing, did not work out. But this has led you to your gifts and ignited an inner determination. There's that determination word again. Completely different deck, y'all, but the same theme. Your angels are here now to encourage you through this time of inquiry and learning so that you can reach a deeper state of awareness and initiate great spiritual growth. If you've been wondering about a particular situation or a challenge in your life, the message today is that this is an essential lesson that will lead to growth. Whatever challenge you are facing right now, that's the message. This is an essential lesson that will lead to growth. You may feel you're in a You may feel you're in a funk or stuck at this time because you're in the thick of it. But soon the clouds will part and the light will shine once more. Know that things do get better from here. In the meantime, call in your angels and invite them to shed light on any darkness so that you can be directed towards your higher good and truth. So absolutely call on this energy, call on that light, especially if you're not sure in what ways you can spread your light longer, farther, stronger. Call on that light, on that particular angel of light connected to sun energy to show you how you can spread your light further, deeper, stronger, wider. And absolutely call on that light if you need to shed some good energy into the dark places that you might be currently navigating. And also, humans help here too. So you are human. Do you need to call a friend? Do you need to call a therapist? Do you need to seek help? Don't think that you can just call on your angels if you're really, really in the thick of it and really in darkness. Call on your human helpers as well as your angels. All right. So that was the 22 archangels. Let's see, I've got one more pre-selected by spirit deck lying on my desk. And so after we do this deck, I'll ask Spirit what particularly does this crowd need, if we need something a little bit different. This deck is Goddess Oracle deck. Who's the Katya Perez by Katya Perez. Spirit, what do we need to know from this deck? Really like the cards in this deck. It's got moon vibe energy and it's all purple and pink. Spirit, what do we need to know? What messages need to come through from this deck? Okay. Melissa. Melissa. And look, she's holding that bee. Goddess of, let's see. Embrace the divine feminine power within me. Divine feminine power. Let's see what other qualities, messages come from this particular goddess. Ooh, this is like the tiniest text on the day I don't have my glasses. All right, Spirit, thanks for the challenge. Let's see. Melissa was born a nymph, small and round, with translucent wings, that made a constant buzzing sound, and she had the power of transformation. When the king of gods, Zeus, was a baby, Melissa fed him honey to help him grow into his power. Zeus repaid Melissa by making her queen bee and a goddess in her own right, and the honey she fed him became the nectar of the gods. It was a much revered substance used in food and drink and to bind wounds and soothe those who were suffering. Yet another message of healing. But here's what I'm getting from this. It was used to bind wounds and soothe those who were suffering. I'm still getting that image of from the tarot where it talked about do that introspection and then it gave us the star saying I'm here for healing. I'm not getting that we're just out here and if we just do the work, it's all gonna be easy selling and we're just gonna move through it. Something within us, yes, that is the way it was intended to be. That's not the way we did it once we got down here and mixed things up. So now that we're here mixing things up, there is a healing that needs to take place. I keep getting that message. We got it from the star into tarot. We got it from some of the other cards, and now we have Melissa talking about binding our wounds, not preventing ourselves from getting those wounds, but binding the wounds. So there's something that we need to go through to heal from. And Spirit is sending us all of these helpers, all of this energy, all of this work from the Uriel, the angel of light, to shine light in our darkest parts. It's just so many messages of healing and support. So let's see. There is a ritual. Melissa, associated with bees and nurturing, represents the divine feminine and productivity. The ritual encourages embracing inner strength and femininity akin to Melissa's nurturing spirit. So it says, reflect on qualities you admire in strong female figures. That's step one of the ritual. And then write down how you embody these qualities. So what do you appreciate in others and how do you embody the qualities? And maybe you're just starting to embody them. Maybe you're doing it in small ways. That's enough. Make note of it. Don't discredit yourself. All right. Goddess Oracle. I got decks all over my desk. Let's see. What else, Spirit? Oh, that card jumped out. We're going to go to The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Union. Let's see. Bees align so beautifully with determination and bull from Taurus, bull energy, and the sun to make a plan and then get to work. Yes, the idea of worker bees, the idea of working within a community, building something that all can benefit from. What other things come to mind when you all think of bees? Those are the themes I thought about. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. That takes me back to that image that Spirit was showing me about being really, really determined, but you're on the wrong path or you took a wrong turn. So now you're really, really determined in the wrong direction. And maybe you're really, really determined to do this thing. And all of a sudden, everything in your life is saying, uh-oh, there's an obstacle and I just can't seem to work around it. Can you maybe ask yourself, ask your spirit guides, is this obstacle trying to reroute me? And if so, where? Can I lean into this obstacle instead of allow myself to feel defeated by it? And can I ask myself, what am I supposed to, how can I best benefit from this obstacle? I was going to say, what am I supposed to learn from this obstacle? It's not about learning. It's not about things being thrown on your path because Spirit has deemed you need to learn something. That's not what it's about. It's how can I benefit from this thing that I am currently, mind, thoughts, thinking, brain, back to swords energy from the tarot, that I am currently labeling as a challenge, a detour, a block. How can I look at that same thing and ask for Spirit's guidance and say, hey, If I'm supposed to benefit from this thing that doesn't look like it has any benefit whatsoever, can you show me the benefit? Show me how this detour could actually be pointing me back in the right direction. And then I have another card from this deck. And it's another card about healing. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel. I'm trying to read it backwards. Permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Let me say that again. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. Just gonna let that one sit there for a minute. Whatever feelings live below the triggers. It reminds me of that saying, and I'm going to butcher this saying, but I like it. It talks about the space between the trigger and the action and how that's all the wisdom. God, I wish I could remember the exact thing. There's a space between like the activation and the actual action that you stimulus and response. That's it. There's a space between stimulus and response, and that's where all the action, that's where all the magic lives. That's where the healing lives. Am I going to keep responding to this thing, the stimulus, the way I always have? By all means, if it's giving you the results that you want, then yes, keep responding to it the way you always have. But for most of us, we're still trying to get the results that we want. So if you can pause after you are activated, triggered, receive some kind of stimulus, and sit in that before you respond the way that you always respond, and ask yourself, is that response actually benefiting the situation, actually benefiting me? Am I actually growing from it? Am I expanding? Am I shining my light in that way that I always respond? Or is there another way where I can respond differently, shine my light brighter, do something different, move myself further away from this stimulus if it's a stimulus I do not enjoy? Is there another response that would benefit me? That's the question for this week to ask yourself. Okay. Spirit, what else? What other messages? I feel like there's a lot of channeled messages coming through, and some cards being pulled, but a lot of channeled messages. We need a little bit of magic. So let's go to spellcasting oracle cards. Spirit, what can you show us about how we can use a little magic in our life to give us momentum, clarification, support? What do we need from this deck, Spirit? All right. Let's see. Animals. Animals is the card we have drawn. Let's see what the message is. You often feel that you'd much prefer the company of furry and feathered friends to that of the human variety. You understand animals are special, for they hold no judgment, only a pure love that radiates on a cosmic level. That holding no judgment. If you have an animal in your life who holds no judgment, who loves you unconditionally, spend some extra time with them this week. Spend some extra time, and as you are letting that animal love on you unconditionally, remind yourself this is the same way the universe, the creator, God, source, whatever you call that energy, this is the same way source feels about me. This is the same way the universe feels about me. And then remind yourself, this is how I should feel about me. I should feel unconditional love for myself. If you're not there yet, that's your work. And then remind yourself, anyone who is not aligned with this feeling of unconditional love, or anyone who is not at least trying to align with this feeling of unconditional love, is someone that I am okay with not being in connection with. Because really, it's those connections that are not even trying to be in alignment with unconditional love that are really slowing down your forward progress. All right. Let's see, is there anything else we can take from this? There's a long ritual. I'm not going to read the ritual. It's kind of anything that you can do on your own to connect with that feeling of unconditional love. Let's see. Show your appreciation of their loyalty and personal qualities. This is going back to animals and connecting with them by taking time out with an animal companion or playing with a beloved pet. The love you share with animals is special and continues even when they pass over, as they remain faithfully by your side in spirit. Losing an animal companion Losing an animal companion who's wandered far from home is a heartbreaking worry. Your prayers for protection will guide them safely back at this time. Beautiful messages. Animals bring healing. Another message. All right. I'm gonna hold that card up one more time. I love the illustrations from this deck. They're all watercolory and multicolored. All right, so that's animals. Do that. Got decks all over the place. Let's see. Just looking over there in chat, making sure I'm up to speed on everything. All right, we've got about 10 minutes left. What are we going to do, Spirit? What's up next? We're going to pull some one-card pulls from Inner Fucking Peace. We're not doing tarot pulls today. We're just doing a quick message from Spirit from an oracle deck. All right, if you would like to receive a one-card pull, go ahead and put pick me over in chat. I'll give you all just a minute while I shuffle. Whoa, I had one pop out. All right, Haley, who we got?
Heather.
Heather, one's for you. Meditate, Heather. It's better than sitting around doing nothing. Meditate. You need to meditate, and you can meditate in more ways than eyes closed, sitting there with hand mudras. It doesn't have to be this intent. It could be a walking meditation. It can be, I've gone through this many, many times before. So many different ways to meditate that don't involve you to have your eyes closed and sitting in some special ceremony. Find a way that suits you, because basically what I'm hearing is you need to get back in touch with yourself. That's meditation, or back in communication with spirit, not so much with the outside world. So that's what I'm hearing. All right, who's next? Whoa.
Carolyn.
Carolyn. Hi, Carolyn. Drop and give me Zen. Drop and give me Zen. Pay the piper and move on. I'm getting two separate messages from that. Drop and give me Zen is saying, maybe the same message. The drop and give me Zen, I'm asking Spirit, drop what? Drop that thing that you keep fighting over, and I'm getting back to the Five of Swords that we started with. For you, there's something going on that doesn't need to be as important as you are making it, because it is robbing you of your Zen. So what can you drop so that you can get back to your Zen? Pay the piper and move on is telling me maybe there's something that you think you're really, really right in, and you don't want to do that thing. You don't want to pay that bill, pay that tax, pay that ticket, whatever it is. And it could be also metaphorical. Maybe there's something you don't want to give to someone else. This is saying, this is spirit saying, I need you to think about that one more time. I need you to think about that one more time. Is it something you just need to do and move on? Are you fighting for the wrong thing? Have you lost track of the true purpose? Just sit with those questions and see what comes up. That seems to be the main exercise. All right, who's up next?
Let's see. Jamie.
Jamie. Namaste, bitches. Love it. Look at those pretty candles. And it says, the divine in me honors the divine in you. The divine in me is having a human experience, and I'm going to honor the divine in you also having a human experience. And I'm going to stop holding you to such high standards because we're all just trying the best we can. So, namaste, bitches. That's the message for you. All right, who's next?
AB.
Maybe. Zero Fox given. And you're cute as hell. Childlike. That's what I'm getting from this. That's a cute little baby fox with its tongue stuck out, being childlike. Think back to when before life got really, really complicated, when you were very optimistic and you didn't care so much about what other people thought. Go back to that childlike, I don't give a fuck kind of energy. That's your mission should you choose to accept it for this week. All right. I'm listening to spirit because they paused me. What is the pause for? Oh, I'll tell y'all what I just heard. I'm just like sitting here like, okay, is there a message? What is the pause for? Like that. I literally heard them like stop me from talking, pulling another card, saying who's next. And I'm like, what is the pause for? Is there a message? What is the pause for? What is the pause for? And then they were like, the pause is for the pause. I love it. The pause is for the pause. It's the same message we've been getting from when I pulled the first card. The very first card was a card about stopping and being introspective. So that's what we're all going to do right now. We're just going to pause. We're just going to sit. We're going to take a deep breath. We're not going to try to meditate. We're not going to try to solve anything. We're just going to sit and be for a minute. Can you be human for just a minute? Can we pause without a reason for pausing? For many of you, this is driving you crazy right now, which means you need to do it more often. Take another deep breath for me and just be here. Can you be okay with just being here? With just being human? With all of the things that you call faults that spirit says, I love you unconditionally. I don't know why you keep talking shit about yourself, but I still love you. Can you sit and just allow spirit, source, God, inner self, higher self, whatever that energy is, to show you unconditional love in this moment without you having to change yourself, without you having to do anything? Can you just sit and be and let spirit love on you unconditionally? I'm willing to receive that love. That's it, y'all. That's the practice. It's not even an energy activation. It's a, can you pause? Spirit saying, I see you running around trying to do all the things, trying to live in the right way, trying to help others. Can you pause so I can remind you how much I love you? So I can recharge you a little bit before you go do all the things. Can you just let me love on you for just a little bit? And maybe can we do more of that throughout our day without having to do something right, without having to think something through, without having to fix ourselves? Can we just sit and be and allow Spirit to love us just as we are? I think we can do a little bit of that. Y'all just show me you can. Now do more of that. Do it once a day for the rest of the week. Come back next Monday and tell me how it goes. All right. Thank you all. That's what we're gonna end on that note. We're gonna take Spirit's guidance, take Spirit's leadership. We all need to pause, and that's where we're gonna end. Love you all, sending you all so much love. I hope you receive that. I hope you sit and receive that unconditional love. And I hope you take advantage of some of the upcoming events. And I will see you all back here next Monday if I don't see you before that. Bye, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Hi, Heather. Hi, Linnea. Hello, everyone. Goodbye.